At a late-night party, two people argued over trivial matters. And here's the weird thing, the other one fell to the ground without any response. Seeing this, Rago quickly fell to the ground and administered first aid. Black man hurriedly called the police for help. Strangely, no one answered the phone. The other friend, frightened, all fled the place. With no other options, Rago ran into the house to ask for help. He just found that two people in bed had also lost consciousness silently. The successive events left him momentarily confused, so he quickly covered his mouth and nose and ran out. Rago thought it must be some kind of gas leak. It wasn't long before they carried the three bodies to the car and drove to the hospital to try to save them. But upon arrival, they were shocked to find the corridor densely populated with corpses. Despite the chaos, the two immediately sought help from a doctor. Anna quickly brought someone to check, but it was soon determined that there was no hope for several people. The bodies were temporarily placed in the car because the hospital was overcrowded with mysterious patients and staff were severely understaffed. A detailed investigation could only begin after the police arrived. The two waited uneasily in the lobby while unattended patients rested, unaware that the outside world was on high alert and all communications were down. The dean left the scene and Anna could only helplessly turn to the nurses. They said they could help but needed rest after working all night, unaware that this sleep might become eternal. Soon, Rago noticed an old man foaming at the mouth, a clear sign of unconsciousness. He called out, and moments later, a woman went limp. Anna rushed to check, then ran to the lounge to wake colleagues for help, only to discover that others had also lost consciousness unexpectedly. The strange situation and inability to contact the police left everyone confused. Anna realized something had happened outside. They drove into town, which was eerily quiet. Anna tried firing a shot into the air, but no one responded. A few people discovered that everyone had lost their lives in their sleep. Anna speculated that this could be a new virus triggered by sleep. Night workers who hadn't slept were likely the only survivors, and they had to be warned to stay awake. Black man thought messages could be broadcast, but just as they were about to leave, their car broke down. Luckily, Ray Ge's girlfriend answered the phone. Katie, recently out of a relationship, impatiently explained she had just finished a night shift and hung up without waiting. Anxious, Rago ran to his girlfriend before she fell asleep. Despite outrageous circumstances, Katie remained unfortunate. Meanwhile, Anna and Black Man arrived at the radio station to alert survivors and coordinate at the hospital. Katie, listening to the news, grew frightened. She revealed she had taken sleeping pills. Rago quickly helped her induce vomiting, but he remained worried. Ordinary people could only survive 3 to 5 days without sleep before severe physical and mental illnesses set in, so a solution had to be found quickly. Returning to the hospital, they found no one dared enter. An old woman in the ward wailed continuously, tortured by cancer, unable to sleep. Her suffering kept her awake, and few could bear to reveal the truth. Katie stayed by her side at all times to prevent her from falling asleep, while the others prepared to dissect the deceased to find clues. Anna was shocked to discover that the head of a corpse that should have been cold was extremely hot. As they lifted the skull, hot air escaped from it, confirming something terrifying and unnatural. There was a triangular mark on the frontal fluid of the deceased. He didn't wait for Anna to figure out what was going on. Rago, who witnessed the scene, was completely terrified. It turned out that the reason Katie planned to break up with him was because a few days ago she had run into Rago sleepwalking late at night and found him self-harming while unconscious. The pattern was engraved on his chest. Rago didn't understand the connection. Just as he was in confusion, Katie approached. With nowhere else to turn, he revealed a secret buried for many years. He had been having nightmares since childhood. His dreams weren't just ordinary. Giant whales floated in the sky, and groups of masked, strange figures approached on the ground. As the dreams became more frequent, the whales began to fall, and the figures drew closer. He used to outgrow these nightmares with age, but recently, they had returned. Katie realized her boyfriend was in immense pain. Just as she tried to offer comfort, Black Man ran over and saw Anna taking an old lady to the scanning room and locking the door. They questioned her loudly outside, but Anna claimed she had told the old lady the truth. The dying woman chose to fall asleep, helping Anna uncover the truth. After much thought, they had blocked the door, fearing that an impulsive action might cost the old lady her life. Soon, Anna received the scan results. The old lady's brain tissue fluctuated significantly before death. This meant she had died from a nightmare. The question remained, what kind of dream could be fatal? It was horrifying, collapsed completely. However, Anna's experiment did yield some results. Ray Ge asked how long after the old lady fell asleep did she die. About 3 minutes, Anna said. He decided to sleep for 2.5 minutes to test if he could wake before harm struck. Since he was experiencing death by nightmare, he hoped to find answers within his own dreams. Katie initially rejected this dangerous plan, but Anna insisted, warning that otherwise everyone would eventually die. Rago, who had not slept for over 40 hours, was allowed only 2 minutes of sleep, after which he had to be woken no matter what. Soon, he fell asleep and awoke in a familiar grassland, but now he found a chain tied to his leg, trapping him. Days had passed. He was parched, unable to reach water. As he pondered why no one had woken him yet, a car approached. To his horror, his mother, long dead, stepped out holding a coveted glass of water. The liquid was cloudy, with a triangle pattern in the middle. Despite realizing something was wrong, his thirst made him want to drink. Then he felt a gaze, masked monsters appeared again nearby, and the fallen giant whale reappeared in the sky. This time, the weirdo wasn't wearing a mask. As he opened his arms, his mother retreated into the car like a movie character. The man slowly approached Rago and explained everything. His original mother had been recreated by a monster called Nightmare, whose purpose was to target Rago. The mass extinction of humanity had been caused by deaths in dreams. A good organization, fighting against nightmares, had been searching for psychic power to combat them. The strong joined the fight, but Rago had always resisted. Finally, Rago woke safely. Anna noted that 2.5 minutes had passed since he fell asleep, but no matter how much they called, he could not be roused. They had to stimulate him with adrenaline to recover. Rago quickly recounted the events of his dream, but everyone questioned the feasibility. Aristera was far away, at least 17 hours by air, and only Black Man, who had minimal flight training and almost 60 hours without sleep, could attempt the journey. Any problem in the air could be fatal. Despite the risks, Katie chose to support her boyfriend unconditionally, and the rest of the companions were persuaded by Rago. Finally, they decided to give it a go. They immediately started organizing the supplies. But Kaida's fatigue began to show, and once it appeared, it was hard to suppress. Rago quickly offered a stimulating drug to keep her alert, but even that wasn't enough. Watching his girlfriend drift toward sleep filled him with anxiety. Only a strong shot of adrenaline managed to wake her. The four of them arrived at the airport without incident. After reviewing the user manual and checking the fuel, flew the plane into the air. But soon the effect wore off, and Katie couldn't stay awake. This time, there was nothing they could do. She fell asleep before dawn. There was no time to grieve, as the ordeal continued to test their limits. Everyone grew exhausted. Black Man's consciousness blurred. He had to bite himself just to stay awake, but even that wasn't enough. They had no choice but to give him a needle, slowing him down, and Anna handed over a scalpel to keep him alert through pain if necessary. Rago was on the verge of collapse, but Anna quickly woke him. After long hours of supervision, they finally spotted the coveted island below. Relief was short-lived. Black Man realized there was no landing strip. Running out of fuel meant a forced landing on the sea. They rushed back into their seats, fastened their seatbelts, and prayed nervously through the turbulence. Fortunately, the landing angle was good, and the plane remained intact. They climbed safely to the shore, where someone heard their approach and rushed to meet them. The old man assured them the island was protected by divine power, immune to nightmares. Seeing the calm life of the islanders, they finally relaxed. Yet many questions remained. The island's owner promised to answer everything. Soon, Rago met him. It was the man who had guided him in his dream. The old man explained that Meng Yen had long sought to invade the world and destroy humanity, but Earth had a patron saint secretly protecting it. The giant whale had been the patron's colossal guardian. With the patron defeated, the world fell, leaving only this island with remaining divine power. No one had ever successfully crossed the barrier to reach it. Those mentally strong could help restore the patron's power faster. Seeing Rago still subdued, the old man comforted him, saying the priority now was rest. They would discuss the plan further in the morning. Watching the giant guardian drift overhead, Rago finally slept peacefully. But unbeknownst to him, around the world, the dead were waking. People glowed with a strange triangular red light. Nightmare was preparing to seize control and launch a more violent attack, and Katie, closest to the island, had quietly reached the shore.